and welcome back to another video. Now, my name is Patricia, in case you don't know me yet. I am 22 years old. I am a psychology student and a part-time model in Austria. Today's video is about something very exciting and important because I feel like lots of people are struggling with it once in a while, including myself. Namely, productivity. How to stay productive, how to become more productive and get things done in time. And most importantly, to be happy and to be content and satisfied with what you have accomplished or achieved in a day, in a week, in a month, whenever. So let's get into the video. So I feel like nowadays we're living in a time and a society where standards are very, very high. There are tons of possibilities and options what to do career-wise. There are so many different careers you could take on. There are so many different educational paths you could take. It is overwhelming sometimes, and because it is overwhelming, we find ourselves in a negative mindset, frustrated in a little hole where we don't really know how to get started, where to get started, and the end result is we do not get started. So in order to get out of this hole and to get a positive mindset and to get things done, I sat down and did a little bit of research and I tried different things out, and in today's video I want to share what I found to be very helpful and what changed my productivity level and my performance throughout the days. Alright, first thing is I recreated and rebuilt my old routines. Alright, now think about your current routine if you have a certain routine. What is it made of? Try to analyze what parts of this routine might prevent you or do not allow you to accomplish or to achieve what you wanted to do during a day. This could be spending too much time on your phone, being too tired the whole entire day because you couldn't sleep the days before, your diet, maybe you don't get enough nutrients. It could be so many things, right? I found 3 basic things that I wanted to change about my routine that I want to share with you now. Maybe those are parts that could help you as well. First thing that I changed about my routine was getting a good amount of sleep. It is well known that sleep is such a fundamental, important part and factor for our bodies and our brains to function. It is a key factor for refinement of cognitive process and memory. It's important for critical thinking, error spotting. It's important for recovering from a very active or a very stressful day and lifestyle. It is important to pay attention and to be able to have a high level of concentration throughout the day and avoid making mistakes. So, especially when you're studying as a student, you need to memorize a lot. Sleep is so important, and we're so fast and quick to compromise on sleep rather than spending less time, let's say, on your phone maybe or other stuff, because it seems so easy to cut out hours of sleep because it seems like it doesn't hurt anybody, right? But in the long term it hurts. You're not doing yourself a favor by doing that, believe me. I experienced that as well, because a lack of sleep is associated with different mental health issues as well as physical issues. A lack of sleep can be associated with a higher risk of getting depression or anxiety, and on the other hand, the physical side, it is linked to daytime fatigue, to a very low level of energy. It's even linked to digestive problems. So the essence is sleep is super important for our mental health and our physical health. I'm currently sleeping around 7 to 8 hours a night, and now I get so much more done throughout the day. I used to stay up very long because I thought I need to study during the night because there's no other time I could do that. But in reality, I needed to study during the night because I was so tired throughout the day that I couldn't get anything done, right? Because I had such a lack of sleep from weeks of not sleeping enough. So I had built up such a big lack of sleep that I couldn't be energized enough and motivated enough and awake enough during the day to get things done, and then towards the evening the pressure would go higher and higher to actually do the things that needed to be done, and then I would end up doing it in the night or during the night. So that's the reason. The second part of my routine is finding a consistent wake-up time every single day. Why must it be consistent? Well, this is a personal thing, but I feel like maybe it helps you as well. When I wake up every single day at the same time, like from Monday to Friday, weekends excluded, but like from Monday to Friday, I get a more structured feeling. And a more structured feeling for me leads to a more positive mindset. It leads to a more organized mindset, which eventually leads me to do more, to get things started, be more productive at the end of the day. So I found that to be very helpful. I currently wake up at 7 from Monday to Friday every single day. By waking up a little bit earlier, I have so much time to do stuff, right? If you're waking up at 10 or 11, there are already so many hours missing in which you could have already done something, got something started to ease into the day, you know. I don't have that much stress because I know there's so much time left to do stuff. But if you're waking up at 10 or 11, as I did, because my first classes at university would be, I don't know, 1 p.m. at some days, I just couldn't get all the things done that I wanted, and I told myself, well, it's already too late to get started with this and that, and so I procrastinated, and that does not help anybody, especially not your productivity. The next point I really took care in my routine is give myself time to rest and my body time to rest, and also getting enough time to exercise and to move my body. Now, just as sleep, rest is super duper important for the functioning of our body, also to recover. So I know sometimes we have a whole lot of work to do and we tend to work through it, right? We ignore the signs of our bodies, which are probably a lack of concentration, a lack of attention, mistakes that are made because you can't concentrate yourself anymore. I started to work in chunks. And there are certain techniques and different techniques that actually help you to prevent working through everything without taking breaks and without listening to your body. The technique I found very helpful and very useful is the so-called Pomodoro Technique. So in case you've never heard of it, I'm gonna quickly introduce you to this technique. You're setting a timer, let's say 20-25 minutes, and within this time frame, within those 20-25 minutes, you're simply concentrating on your task. No phone, no computer, no nothing, right? No distraction at all. Just focus on what you have to do. And when your alarm rings, you lean back, take a break, 5 minutes, right? And in those 5 minutes, get yourself a glass of water, a cup of tea, coffee, matcha latte, chai latte, whatever you like to drink, or get yourself a healthy snack and try to relax a little bit. After those 5 minutes, you set your timer again 20-25 minutes, 5 minutes break after. And you repeat that for 4 rounds, 4 cycles, and then you take a longer break, let's say 1 hour or 2 hours. That's it, and it really works. Try it out. The second part was moving my body. Moving your body is super important. A lot of people know that after sports feeling where you feel kind of in ease and happy and like some feeling of euphoria, and this is actually associated with the, I hope this is pronounced correctly, endorphins that are released during sports. They actually minimize the discomfort of exercise and block the feeling of pain, and on the other hand are associated with a feeling of euphoria and happiness and just being super duper positive. Yes, and this is one example of the physical and biological reasonings why we feel better after doing sports. There are, of course, even more biological processes that actually impact this kind of great after sports feeling. But the point is, if you're feeling good and if you're feeling happy, then you're more motivated to do stuff. And under the bottom line, happiness and a feeling of satisfaction actually helps us to get things done and to get things started and sorted and structured and, you know, like to become more productive. So the next thing that I would like to talk about and the next thing that really helped me was focus more on executing a task rather than spending too much time on thinking just about the idea. Don't get me wrong, having a lot of ideas is such a great thing. especially if you're super creative, you have lots of different ideas. That's great, that's perfect, that's awesome. But the thing is, the best idea has its limits if nobody can put it in action, if nobody can do something about it. Instead of taking all the time to think about the idea, try to start and try to think about the skills you need to actually execute and put it in practice. For example, if you have a great idea for a YouTube video and you've never done a YouTube video, think about what do I need to get started and work on that before thinking about other video ideas that you might have. Try to focus on editing skills, for example. What equipment should I use? How to use that equipment? Think about those things and try to work on that before you start thinking about more ideas. I mean, you can of course, but thinking too much about ideas often leads us to procrastinate. And if you're focusing more on executing a task, then that lowers the risk of the completion anxiety. And this is when you don't even want to start because you are afraid of the outcome. Let's say you're telling yourself, well, I'm not going to do it right now because I think if I'm doing it now, it's not going to work out, it's not going to come out the way I want it to, so I will probably do it another time when I feel like it will probably be better or something. So you're procrastinating, right? Or not studying this subject because I feel like when I do study it, I will just find out that I'm too dumb or I don't know, not smart enough to study it or to memorize that stuff. So that's kind of the completion anxiety. You can decrease that by just focusing on the task and doing step by step, trying to focus on the skills you need. And maybe you already have a couple of skills that you have never made use of before and you find out you have those. That would be great, right? Alright, so now last but not least, the third and final advice or tip to improve your productivity, or at least what has helped me to improve my productivity, is give yourself a little bit less time than you would actually need to accomplish a task. What do I mean with that? Let's say you're studying for an exam. Your exam is coming up in 3 weeks. So you have 3 weeks of going through all your study materials. If you're really allowing yourself to take the whole 3 weeks to get it done, you will probably end up not having enough time to repeat, to look into the details and stuff that you probably didn't understand, kind of improve your skills and improve what you have studied. But if you limit that time a little bit, and if you say you allow yourself 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks of studying for this particular exam, then you end up having enough time left to do all of that, to repeat, to improve, to understand a little bit better. It also helps you to increase the efficiency of studying and learning. Let's say you have a home task to do from school, university, whatever, and it really takes you 5 to 6 hours to actually finish it. Your professor, your teacher gives you 1 week time to do it. Now, what do you think? How high are the chances that you're actually doing it in 5 or 6 hours? You're probably not doing it in 5 or 6 hours. You will probably do it split up in days, or maybe even last minute under a ton of pressure, which is not nice. So you can increase the efficiency by simply telling yourself, all right, I'm not going to take a whole week. Let's act as if I need to do it, let's say, within 2 days or 3 days. You get it done so much quicker and it's so much more efficient. You can do half the time, you could do 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, it doesn't matter, or 2/3 if you don't want to part it into half of the time. So it really is up to you what you feel more comfortable with, but in my experience it really was a good thing to just give myself a little bit less time so that I have enough time left to improve my skills or to repeat everything, to go through the things that I've written or that I've created or prepared. Those are my tips that help me to be more productive and to get more things done. I hope you enjoyed the video. Love you guys. Wish you a wonderful day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. And as always, hope to see you very soon. Stay healthy and remember, you're good the way you are. You're good enough. You don't need to prove anything. And if you didn't get anything done today, don't you worry. Tomorrow is another day. You can start over and you can get productive and become more productive for sure and most definitely. Alright, love you guys. Bye-bye!